Welcome again at B4M Pictures. I'm your host, B4M, and today we are going to discuss about gender-based violence. And before that, I need my guests to first introduce themselves first.
Hi, my name is Diana Maina.
Hello, my name is Nyamburu Ahome.
Okay, before we go to the topic, I would like to explain what the gender-based violence is. This is violence toward a certain gender. And it's mostly because you are for a certain gender, you are attacked because of that gender. And it includes sexual and also physical and also emotional. So, my first question is, have you ever gone through GBV or afraid have gone through the same,
For me, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've also not gone through it, but I have friends who have.
How was the experience? Just briefly. You don't have to tell the story. Did you like the experience of that? That's what I'm asking.
Did I?
How was the experience? Bad, awkward?
Of course, gender-based violence is a very bad experience for anyone to go through, and but it messes up a lot.
Yeah.
Especially in a family setup. So it interferes with people's self-esteem. It does a lot of damage. So yeah, it's a really bad experience. Yes.
Okay. Because this is very common in our society. Some are abused, but they don't speak up. So based on the numbers we are getting from the media, we can tell there's a lot of GBV. So my second question, I would like to understand, because I've noted that many women are blaming men because they think inyi wanaume munapiga wanawake. Can we say like GBV is a problem for men only, or is it because can we blame men for only abusing women, or what do you say? Who is the
For me, I would say would also partly blame the women also, because you see, for men, there must be something that will provoke, like you've provoked him, so that for him to battle you.
Oh, I see. So you mean like, women are being abused physically, but sometimes huwa wanatujibu,
We
wanatupea.
also contribute.
Yeah, we abuse us emotionally, then ndio sasa because we are more physical guys. Badala ya kujibizana maana tunapiga mwanamke. I get you. What about
If you ask me, I also think everyone has a role to play. Okay, no one should be abused for whatever
Reason.
it is that they have done, but
Yeah.
but everyone has a role to play, both men and women. Yes.
So, based on the same question, maybe I would like to know, what do you think is the cause of gender-based violence? What do you believe is causing this? Because it has become so rampant currently.
I think it's communication. Yeah.
I feel that's a very good point, communication. Because I feel it's hard to get people to communicate efficiently currently.
If you ask me, I think it's due to so many reasons. One, how we are socialized, the things we grow up seeing, people who do not want to be responsible, and the family setup or the family unit is what makes up a society. So partly it's how people are socialized, or how people grew up, and what society teaches us, and what we learn from the family setup. Like for instance, if I grew up watching my mom being battled,
You may
then
assume that
somehow yes. So maybe it's the experiences, the things we go through, and sometimes it's just lack of responsibility and people not playing their part. Yeah.
Like we have lacked that boy, like
boy child role.
child role. Like we have a lot of deadbeats dads.
And
Don't
ATM father.
take
Actually,
part.
in the last time video, we said ATM fathers. These are men who only provide; they are not present in their
Yes.
student life.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And also choices that people make, because I feel like some people did not even grow up watching that. Some people just decide to be responsible. Yeah.
Do you also when it comes, because I noted that sometimes you can maybe abused by a man because maybe the way you started your relationship was on a wrong foot already. Maybe you are never keen. You never identify the red flags.
The
Do you believe so?
foundation.
Yeah.
But that's also it plays a part.
Yeah.
It does. I feel like people rush into making decisions without first,
Knowing the
taking the
person.
necessary, knowing the person. But I feel like most of these issues, they're due to unresolved issues. Issues that people have gone through and have not dealt with, you know, with it. Like, for example, you might find someone who went through abuse and they're angry with life, they're angry at everyone, and they take the same anger or bitterness to marriage or to, you know, relationships. So I feel like unresolved issues, people just being irresponsible, and the society not taking its role seriously. The society meaning the church, you know,
The traditions.
the traditions, our parents. Yeah, I feel like people are not playing their part. If it's the church, if you ask me, like, I have nothing against the church.
I'm also one
Yes,
because to me
yes,
I'm a believer in God, but I'm not a religious person. Simple.
I would
Say that.
No, it is. You see,
I think I'm sort of religious, but at the same time, I must look at it from a point of, I think the church has somehow failed.
can you explain
Because,
how it has
like,
failed?
for example, nowadays when people go for marital counseling, the things that people are being taught, I feel like more should be taught in churches.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
feel like when you go to church, the only things they'll concentrate on are, have you guys had, you know, sex before marriage? Have
Yeah.
you guys, instead of discussing real issues that should be discussed.
Actually,
Yeah.
to support that, I would like to, because what do you feel about this? Because I learned of someone, he was a woman, she was a woman,
Yeah.
amepeleka bwanake na wakaenda kwa counseling kwa pastor. You know, in church we say like, till death do others apart. So there's this question I feel like is very important here, because I know that it's both way. You can feel it yes or no. But because it's till death do us apart, if you have a partner who is abusing you, do you stay there because till death apart us, or because of kids? Because I know that some people are being abused, but they feel like I better stay here because of my kids.
That's a very, very, very good point, James. I also feel the same way. Like when people run to churches for advice when all is not working out at home, that is most likely the
Like your
the
advice,
advice.
like,
yes,
You
like
stay there because of kids.
Yeah.
yes,
But it's not this. It's not always the solution, because you're also exposing your kids to all this bad
Abuse,
stuff, like this bad energy, and it will also affect their growth mentally, emotionally. It will affect them.
Actually,
So I don't think like you're supposed to stay in a marriage just because you want to have that family set up. How about you? Like, it's allowed sometimes to be selfish.
yeah.
I would call it selfish.
Actually, it's not self. I would just call it being proud of yourself.
self-love.
Or self-love. Yeah, that's a better one.
Self-love.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
uh-huh.
So to add to what Diana is saying, I also feel like the church addresses things from a point of
Faith.
yes, and some things must be dealt with just the way they are. If someone is abusive, how about you give them space for them to work on themselves or change their behavior, and then maybe you can talk about, you know, working on marriage or something like that, but staying with an abuser so that the society, you know, does not judge you or whatever. I don't think it makes sense.
So, from the same, do you feel like the church should also start, because we only have weddings, you see, bringing a man and a woman. Should we also, like, I think in Islam, they allow that. You can have a divorce in church. Let's say if you have, you see, look at this. If now you say that, like, if you are married and you need them to go. You see, there are some people who cannot change, maybe because they have a mental health problem. I don't want to go for therapy.
Some
So
people don't see.
you see, in Islam, they allow that. There's that divorce in church. So do you believe, like, in the Christian life, we should also allow that then?
Well,
Because you see, in psychology they say, if you stay in a marriage that is abusive because of your kids, these kids will grow thinking abuse is normal, and
okay.
they will also be abused. So you are transferring this abuse to generations.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, the good book says God hates divorce actually. but we wouldn't encourage people to stay in an abusive environment
So we should allow.
with abusers who are not willing to change their behavior.
So we should-
And then also, that is not to mean that if this person is not willing to change, you should be with
see-
them.
I mean, if it's an
But then-
option.
yes.
But when you say that even if you are married, that you
Yeah.
cannot, what do you mean? If you cannot stay, you mean, if then we say like, these kids, you don't stay in a marriage because of their kids, if you are being abused. So it means that then you are moving out of a marriage. That is it. So we don't have to sugarcoat the idea, like we say, like the church is not to get here now because church says we should be together.
You have to be together.
Now you just move out of the house, but in the papers, ni bibi yake. I feel it should allow that in church.
I feel like
Divorce in church.
They should.
Yeah, you see,
I feel-
saizi I look at this. Hata kitambo hatuko tuna piano. Saizi wanatumia piano. So at least even if the church also grow with the time.
Should, yeah, true.
How do you believe that?
But
Did I get your question? Sorry.
The question was,
Yes.
should church also start divorce in church?
Okay, well, I believe
the
maybe
Islam
that's
Just like they brought us
I
together.
don't know whether we'll ever get there. I really doubt.
Yeah.
But I believe people shouldn't stay together if they're both not willing to work on themselves first.
Okay.
Because I believe, apart from, you see, like most women, I'll speak from where I sit. I think, what was that point? Nimepotea.
The idea is you wanted to
yeah,
speak from
divorce.
divorce on your side.
Waislamu wanakubali unaweza divorce kwa church, as in kwa mosque. Pia sisi pia kama tunafaa kuwa na that
Yeah.
option.
So,
So tuna divorce.
yes.
Just the way walituleta pamoja.
So most women and men, people really care about what other people think or what the society thinks. People will be like, now if I leave and my friends are married, or if I leave, what will my parents say?
Yeah.
But I believe, even before we work on us, have I worked on myself as Nyambura?
Yeah.
Have I looked at my weaknesses? Have I looked at areas I need to improve on, even before I look at the other person?
Yeah. I
Yes.
get you. The issue is here.
Yes.
Mostly, so we have said that you are being abused, but the other person is not willing to improve. So that's
They don't
the
see
scenario
their
in here now.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Because you can change yourself, but if the other person doesn't
you
want
can
to change,
actually have an abuser. You can have an abuser who thinks he or she is very okay.
especially
They don't
narcissistic
even
people,
think they need help.
Yeah.
they will believe they are.
Narcissistic people
Yeah,
are the
they
ones.
are.
They also believe they are okay. So, in the men conference, we had an issue here. We said that sometimes you women abuse us sexually. How can you express sexual abuse in men?
What-
In men? Because they said, yes, we are abusing women, but they're also abusing us sexually.
What's
We had
the-
a problem
what's
of
their-
definition of sexual abuse in men.
Okay, is it in terms of rape or sexual harassment?
Sexual harassment, mostly not even rape. Let's avoid rape.
I kind of
Because
feel-
rape even currently, we still have a problem of